Hey guys, what's going on? Watomarmelon back here again. And as always, if you do enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. But we've got a banger of a market watch, and there are bonus bucks for everybody on TCG Player tomorrow. So on December 16th, there will be, I think, 8% bonus bucks for everybody, and then subscribers get more on top of that. So that's pretty insane. If you guys do enjoy, as always, like and subscribe. I'm going to start off with a card on eBay that you guys may or may not know about. This is it's kind of they've introduced full arts to Rush Duel, and the recent set was the first one to do it. And there is this full art Cyber End Dragon that is just an incredible looking card. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because you guys know I love my OCG stuff, and this is one to check out if this interests you. As always, if you buy anything off eBay, click the link in the description before. That helps me out tremendously. So the first card we're going to be looking at that's not on eBay is Javelin Beetle. This is one that I was picking up for my own collection, and I noticed that it really is starting to creep up in price. I mean, the actual differential between 3 months ago and now is not that high. It's only a couple of bucks, but you notice the overall trend that people are starting to pick these things up. I don't know, that was not me who picked up four of them on December 4th, but it seems like people are starting to pick up more and more of these things. This is a beautiful card. And if we look at the near mint condition copies, there are no first edition distinguishing factor for these premium pack cards. But you can notice that it's 12 bucks, and there are a couple of them lined up at $12. Really cool card and not super expensive. So it's one to keep your eye on. Something I wanted to talk about are, actually, let's go to this one first, are the Advanced Crystal Beast Secret Rares. I picked up more than playsets of each of these things, and this is something that I think you should consider if you're interested. I love modern collecting, so I'm always looking for modern cards that I enjoy. I'm not saying that these things are quote unquote investable, because I don't think they are. It's more so if you think that these cards are good looking and you're interested in sort of the Crystal Beast archetype, these are secret rares that are probably never going to get a higher rarity printing. I highly doubt these things are going to be printed in, an ultimate or a collector rare. So this is probably going to be the highest rarity printing they ever get, and it's their first printing. So, this is definitely the go-to printing, and then you can pick them up for dirt cheap. I mean, look at the prices on screen. The point being that there are sellers who have tons of each of these cards, so you can just buy them all from one seller, and, it saves you getting multiple packages. You also are going to get the $5 plus free shipping. So it makes a lot of sense to buy them now. Additionally, there's kind of a floor. I mean, look at Crystal Beast Amber Mammoth. Are you waiting for it to go down to, 20 cents market price? I mean, there's not a whole lot more that it can go down. And so, it's worth it. It might be worth it for you if you enjoy this sort of stuff to pick it up now, because there's a lot going for these cards. They look beautiful, and they're just generally fun cards. And the point being that these are cards I could see not getting another decent reprint. Like I could see these being commons in some reprint set, or super rares in some reprint set down the road, but I imagine they're not going to get reprints for a long time. And it's possible, not saying this will happen, that for some reason these things are sort of taken off the market down the road. They're harder to come by, and you can just pick them all up for like 10 bucks, play sets of each of these things for $10 total, and I think it's kind of worth it. I think they look incredible as well. The other thing inside the set is if you want matching sets of the original Crystal Beast cards, you can get them in ultra rare. They actually look quite nice as well, for dirt cheap. I mean, we're talking approaching a dime for each of these things. I mean, they are so cheap right now. And so I bought playsets of each of these things, I think a bit more. And so for my modern binder, I have, I think, 2 pages, 1 page dedicated to the Crystal Beast and Ultra Rare out of this set, and 1 page dedicated to the Advanced Crystal Beast Secret Rares. The point being that all the previous printings of these Crystal Beasts have not been at the same rarity. But I think they're actually super rares in like raw yellow mega pack or something like that. So these ultra rares are better. They're higher rarity, and also they're so much cheaper. So I think it's worth it. The point being that, in the original printings, the Crystal Beasts were primarily commons, and then Sapphire Pegasus was an ultra rare and ultimate rare, and Topaz Tiger was an ultra, or a rare and an ultimate rare. So you couldn't get a matching set, but now you can for dirt cheap. That was my point. So next up, we've got one of the most iconic modern cards. We have 10,000 Dragon. You can see it has sort of a weird trajectory. If we look at the yearly trajectory, I mean, there haven't been a ton of sales, and so one sale can influence this greatly. There actually was one sale today. That's kind of funny. But you can see that if you're looking for a near mint copy, there's Corbin's Cards and Games. That is a fake copy, actually. So I would not buy that. I believe that's fake because the text does not look correct. You have to be careful about these fake copies. Actually, I'd have to take more of a look, actually zoom in on it. But you do have to be careful about the fake copies. But any place like Big City Cards isn't going to be sending you a fake copy. Gamer's Choice, same thing. So it's worth taking a look at. This is one of the most iconic modern cards, $1,500 for a copy. I don't know if I'd go after it, but it's something to consider. There's a lot of Gate Guardian support coming out, and it's possible that we see collector rares of some of the new retrains of these Gate Guardian cards. I think it's Amazing Defenders is the new collector rare set that's coming out, and so a lot of people are looking to these sort of component pieces of Gate Guardian out of this Speed Duel GX Midterm Paradox mini box. I mean, this thing is so dirt cheap. All these secret rares look incredible, and they're so cheap, so it's something to consider. I don't think Gate Guardian, besides its original Metal Raiders printing, has any really notable printings. It might have like an ultra rare out of a reprint set or something like that, but this is a really nice looking copy. These Speed Duel promotional cards are always really good, and they're also usually pretty cheap as well. So this is something to keep your eyes peeled on. I think I have a Bubble Man, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought a Bubble Man just to take a look at the secret rare foiling. Looked really nice, and so it's something to consider because they're going to be getting new support very shortly. Next up, we have Toon Blackluster Soldier Collector Rare of Toon Chaos. Toon Chaos, in my opinion, is the modern set. So like pandemic and onward, I think Toon Chaos is my favorite set that came out. And this is the cover card. It is, a really cool card and very difficult to pull, this particular collector rare. So near mint copies are going to run you about 124 in unlimited, and then first edition is going to obviously hold a premium, and you're going to be able to pick them up for around 225. This guy has 3 of them. I know that Ruxin mentioned this card in like his underrated card video. I don't really have many opinions on this one as one of the cards to pick up, but this is an interesting card. I don't think the collector rares look that good out of Toon Chaos. They've really upped their game in terms of the collector rare foiling since then. I've never actually had this particular collector rare, so I don't know, but that's something to keep in mind. If you've picked up collector rares recently and been like, man, these things are just unbelievable, you might not be getting the same level of foiling if you pick up an old one out of Toon Chaos, especially a first edition printing. I've noticed that they're a bit flatter because I have the Chaos Emperor Dragon and also the Chaos Daedalus. Next up, we have another Blackluster Soldier card, which I think Blackluster Soldier is also getting support in one of the new sets. We have Soldier of Chaos, the original printing. This thing is just tanked in value. Namely, it's received a Ghost Rare, then an Ultimate Rare printing, and then recently out of Magnificent Mavens, they did a Ultra Rare printing. And so this kind of exists in a weird mid-rarity where, Secret Rare, original print, is it better than a reprint Ghost Rare or reprint Ultimate Rare? And certainly if you're just trying to get a hollow printing to put in your binder or to play with, you're probably going to go after the $3 Ultra Rare that just came out of Magnificent Mavens. And so this one's kind of in an interesting spot. This is one I'm keeping my eye on in case it gets a little too cheap. It's down to $32. You can see that, it's come down a bit, and it seems to continue to come down based on the trajectory here. I would assume that it's going to continue to go down further, but this is one that original print secret rare. I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this one. Blackluster Soldier, the original printing out of Starter Deck Yugi Evolution. these starter deck evolved or evolutions were the things that my brother and I first got. These were my first cards. I had the Kaiba one. My brother had the Yugi one. So this is a card that's very nostalgic to me. Near mint first edition, you can pick them up for $10, which really is not bad. Here's Plano Trade X cards. I always like to shout this guy out because he has, probably the best store on TCG Player. He always gives cards in the proper condition, so I appreciate that. But this is a card to look for. Really, really cool card. You can get unlims for really, really cheap. And it has that classic ultra rare foiling. Looks nice. It's a collectible card. Next up, we have Chaos Emperor Dragon Ultimate Rare. It seems like the prices have kind of stayed steady. There haven't been very many sales at all recently. You can see that, I guess, a little less than a month ago, I guess there's a near mint first edition that sold for around $300. And there have been some unlims that have sold, but the unlims were printed into the ground, so I don't know how much value these things are going to hold. If we look at the first edition printings of this card, you can see something that's always good to see if you're a collector who has this card is that there has been some sort of attrition. You see damaged copies, mod play copies. It means that people are like actually enjoying the card. They didn't immediately just throw it in a binder, and so not every copy that's out there is going to be in mint condition. But if we look at near mint first edition, we saw that one sold for $350. This is near mint lightly played, so we're going to ignore that. We have Top Table Gaming for $285. I don't think that they're the best, but it is what it is. I don't remember exactly, but you can see that they line up at $285, going up to $300. Beautiful card. I love this one. Next up, another card that I love. I always expected this thing to drop. I don't know how this thing maintained its absurd price. I mean, it really was, like, I remember buying tons of these things for like $50, $60, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then it just shot up in price. I sold some of mine at like 200 or so after I think this spike. No, maybe even before that. Like, there are more of these step spikes before it sort of went up and up. You can see that on the 3 month it seems to be coming down a bit. I don't know why this is so desired. I'm assuming it's for Edison format, but who knows. You have the foreign copies lining up. If you want a near mint English, it's going to run you $350. Mystic TCG again. I'm seeing them a lot around. And then finally we have Trishula. This is a card I'm trying to pick up in like French or something like that for my binder. This one has come down quite a bit. You can see that it peaked at close to 200. We're seeing them for 143 in English. This is something that if I can get a copy for like 110, maybe 100 in Italian, French, something like that, I would love to see the foiling on it because it looks incredible. But that's all I have for today. A little bit of a shorter market watch. I guess not that much, 13 minutes. It's been your boy Watomarmelon. Let me know if you enjoyed, and peace out.